Hello, lovelies. This is 5 Minute Manifesting, and I'm your host, Lovey Brown. Thank you so much for listening. I'm thrilled that you're here. And today, we're going to talk about what to do if you think you may be rejecting your manifestation. So, I know you might be thinking, Lovey, no one's rejecting their manifestation. If their manifestation was here, they would accept it. They would want it. But maybe you're subconsciously not used to having the feeling of love, not used to having the feeling of abundance. And so your body is trying to keep you safe by being like, this is unfamiliar, and pushing it away. And so let's just talk a little bit about how to do that. Because it could feel something like your body not believing your affirmations. And so when your body doesn't believe your affirmations, it can feel subtle, but it can be there. And I was just thinking about an experience I had when I was manifesting my specific person about how I would do affirmations sometimes and I would get a real icky feeling and I had to decide what to do when I had that icky feeling. And I soothed myself and continued to do my affirmations and that worked for me. So I want us to do an exercise together. Because here's the thing, applying is the secret sauce. Applying is what manifests, right? If you're just listening to content and you're not applying these things, then, it's going to be harder to manifest. So let's put one of your hands on your belly and one of your hands on your chest. Just so you can feel you're connected to your body. You can feel what's going on in your stomach area. You can feel what's going on in your chest area. Your heart. And so you have your hands there. Let's just do a couple of deep breaths here. And you can feel, your hands can feel your belly and your chest rising and falling with your breath. Do that a couple of more times, just until you're used to that feeling. Now, we're going to say an affirmation. The affirmation we're going to say, that I'm going to say, is my specific person loves me. You might want to put in their name or substitute a whole nother affirmation about money or abundance or a job or whatever you're manifesting, health. But we're going to do that affirmation. When I'm saying that affirmation, notice if your body feels how your body feels. So you're still breathing. You still have your hand on your belly and your chest. My specific person loves me. My specific person loves me. You're breathing in and out. My specific person loves me. My specific person loves me. My specific person loves me. So how are you feeling in your body? Do you have any tension in your stomach? Do you have any tension in your chest? So that, if you do, just notice what you're feeling. That is your nervous system, your body trying to protect you from something they feel could be harmful. And that's okay. It's not harmful. Getting your manifestation is not harmful. But we want to teach that to your body, right? This is kind of Joe Dispenza kind of work. You want to teach your body to be soothed. So when you're saying those affirmations, your body is learning the feeling of that being safe, of that being good for you. But it doesn't have that experience. So you have to teach it that experience before it comes into your 3D reality, right? That's what deliberate creation is. Now, there is a where people are always manifesting, right? They don't always realize it. And so there are people who these things just happen for, right? Who they aren't deliberately manifesting. They're just manifesting subconsciously or naturally, organically, without deliberately, consciously choosing to do processes like this. And that's great. But we're deliberate creators. We get exactly what we want. We're choosing to do this because we want to get what we want. We're not organically letting it just, whatever happens based on what random thoughts we're having, right? So we're going to deliberately soothe our body. Now, you may need to intuit for your own self what this is. For me, it often looks like continuing to affirm until I feel better, or I feel more natural, or I feel kind of neutral about the subject. Then that kind of feeling I get in my stomach of unease goes away. And it can often, at the very beginning of this process for me, it can often come back the next day. But I've taught myself how to do this and move through that kind of icky feeling that I can get sometimes when my body is not used to having what I want, when my body's not used to of this affirmation that I'm doing to deliberately create something in my life. And I'm not used to having that thing in my life. And so my brain, when it says this affirmation and it sends these signals to my body, it's like, no. That's not our life. That's not what we do. That's not who we are. But we're changing that deliberately with our manifesting techniques. But that icky feeling is kind of pushing it away a little bit. And so we're just going to soothe that in ourselves with breathing, with continuing to do the process, with asking ourselves, is there anything I can do to soothe you? And see what comes to mind. See what comes to mind. Maybe it's meditation. Maybe it's walking. Think of things that would soothe your body. And then you continue to do the process. And so that is teaching your body that it is safe. You are safe to get your manifestation. So that is what I wanted to share with you today. Thank you so much for listening. May you manifest exactly what you want.